Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Seth Shadow here. I've been pulled apart today with a lot of different things going on at the same time, so I'm actually recording this rather late. And with the next week and possibly the week after that, I may not be able to post market watches as there's a lot going on. And today's will be a little shorter than usual for the same reason, so please bear with me as life is hitting me hard right now, and I'm having some difficulties kind of keeping everything aligned. But let's go ahead and get in today's market watch. There isn't as much to cover. It seems to have been more of a things haven't changed too drastically since we talked on Tuesday. But I do just want to call attention to a few items. Like a while back I talked about how Meteor Flare Dragon had been bought out, and then eventually the triple rare followed it as well, where this card used to be close to $2-3 and now you can't find any copies for under $10 at this point. That's likely due to some it's a new ride line that we're going to be getting in set 10, which is also focused on retire-based skills and binds as well. But this card is getting popularity for potential play in that, and otherwise, it's a good generic card to have in your back pocket depending on what we get coming forward. Flattened Sulfury, we talked about this as Messiah Tech a little while ago, and I mentioned how the FR had been bought out. Now we only have $15 plus listings. Let's see if any of those actually sold. Yeah, they did. 14s and 10s. So yeah, if you got the FR of this, it's getting up there. So you could probably get rid of that for a decent penny. On top of pennies, though, Flattened Sulfury's rare has also seen a spike in value, though even though you only see the 50-cent mark here, you have to keep in mind this used to be a 20-cent rare, and now it's 50 cents minimum. Players are picking up multiple copies of this, potentially for Messiah play later, and then set 9 does have hero support in it, so hero players trying to jump on the bandwagon are likely getting into this now too, which is like a smaller part of a double whammy that has increased this card's price. Heroes are still not doing anything too big in the meta, but ultimately it's still a pretty fun deck to give a try and is more on the budget side if you don't count the overtrigger. Records of Ragnarok, one of the collab sets that Bushiroad had. This one has been pretty neglected overall, even when you have Shaman King as well. I feel like Shaman King has been the more popular one. But ultimately, I haven't even seen Records of Ragnarok, so I can't really tell you too much on how things are going to go in terms of nostalgia or just favorite characters here. Although, just kind of looking through some of these prices, I can already tell you one card without even knowing seems to be getting big prices, but is not. I don't think it's even selling here. You have Aphrodite at $40 right now minimum, and nobody has bought this card since November. You were able to get it at $6. This is the, which rare? The Ragnarok rare, I guess they call it. Which means there are other variations of the card. And then Brunhild seems to be the cover of the entire collab set. Though it looks like the grade 3 SP we have here is $10. I think there's another one. No, that's a grade 1. $18.50. Just kind of going to go through this one a little fast, though. Again, I don't really know much about Records of Ragnarok, and I haven't actually seen anybody play it, so I don't know how the deck styles work either, which is also another thing. But just to kind of give you an idea on prices, singles are overall cheaper than typical, and I suppose the only one that really seems to get any... We have another Ragnarok rare of Aphrodite, but I think that's a different version. But Aphrodite is probably the only one that really got a lot of value gain. Like, if we look at these SSPs, Zeus. Someone did buy this for 84, both in March and February. And then Brunhild is 60. People have been buying it for 70, but that was December. Nobody's been buying this for a while. Like I said, I feel like this set has just been greatly neglected, and we'll just have to see if it gets another collab to bring it back up sometime. Tomorrow's episode and tomorrow's release of Set 9 both bring Diablos back into the front here, and Diablos Boys Eden has gone back up in value, where it had a lull down towards $10, but all of those have sold out to the point of $17. But you can see the last several listings that sold were in the $12 range, so yeah, you can hope for some more to come back on the market, but since we have Set 9 coming, I'm not sure how well that's going to pan out. The SP is, let's see, $30 minimum to pick up right now, but the majority of quantities are in the $40 range and upwards, so you'll have to shop around for this one if you really want to get the high rarity at this point. Stephanie, we talked about this a while back. This card is only a common, and that's the only rarity it's got. It's from set 4. But this is the card that allows you to turn your Bruce into an 18k during your opponent's turn as well. Just to keep that in mind, where Stephanie's skill is, if you're in Final Rush, all units in the same column as this unit will get 5k. So if you put it behind Vanguard, your Vanguard's 18k, and Viamont's Bruce continues Final Rush during your opponent's turn, making it an 18k. Still pretty accessible, but its price has gone up since a while back, but it's 50 cents, so it's not like it'll break the bank. Steam Battler Gunram is another one I want to talk about, moving away from Brainwasher for a little while, especially when you consider that the SP has really gone up in value and players have actually been buying this close to $70. So yeah, this is one of those really big price spikes for something that is like a secondary copy for Soul Charging and Dark States. But there is the reprint coming on the horizon. Again, we don't know how those RE ratios will play out, but the regular Gunrams are closer to $10 right now, and hopefully they will continue to drop as Brainwasher should still be more popular overall. Next week is also going to be the reveal for Clarissa, so just a heads up to give you an idea of Clarissa's price right now. We're still looking at dollars, and then the SP and LSR are still pretty high. We talked about how the other earns corrects really got high valuations from players just wanting to get into it. Not as many of them have sold at those valuations yet, so it's all just going to come down to what Clarissa ends up doing. Magnolia Elder is also a bit higher in value these days thanks to Set 9. We do have a few new support cards to give it a buff, and so it's back to $10. But Magnolia Elder is one of those that just never seems to break out. Same with some other cards I've talked about in the past. Whether or not it'll actually have a time where it'll break out is still to be seen. But I don't think Magnolia Elder has been as popular ever since its original fall thanks to the ban list. And finally, Judith, the only FR rarity of a lyrical perfect card. The last time we covered this card, it was upwards of $30, which was pretty short-lived, and now you can pick this up at $15. So, if you're not a fan of the SPs and prefer the FR, this is the only option you've got here, but at least it's more affordable than it used to be. Thanks for watching, you guys, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. But again, I may not be able to do as many market watches next week or the week after, just to refresh what I said earlier. I will try, but we'll see what happens. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys later.